mastered the art of getting consistent sales in my business. Understand that consistent sales often comes from word of mouth, from people hearing about you, from people stumbling on your content. A lot of this is like building blocks, and you have to have the patience to focus on what needs to be focused on as you kind of go along this plan, right? So the product, the program, the offer, focus on that, perfect it. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and I do all the things, but I recognize part of why I can wear all the hats and do all the things is because I've mastered the art of getting consistent sales in my business. So I find this is typically, the next hurdle for people after they have, nailed their niche and they started to build their brand, they know what their offer is, then it's like, okay, how do I sell it consistently? How do I get clients? Because that ability to sell it consistently is ultimately what is going to grow your business and allow you to expand, maybe to bring on a team, to do other things that you're looking to do. Maybe you want to host retreats abroad or write a book or all types of endeavors that you want to get into. This bedrock of consistent sales is like a very, very important milestone that you need to get over and pass. And I just find that a lot of online entrepreneurs and especially a lot of coaches have a lot of difficulty getting over this. So if you're wondering why you don't have consistent sales yet, don't worry, because I'm going to demystify it in this video starting now. All right, the first reason why you don't have consistent sales yet is because you don't yet have a tried and true offer. And I say this because this is something that I dealt with for years. Now, I've always had a variety of different offers. I started off with a lot of different low ticket products, and then I had some one-on-one coaching offers, and then I transitioned to group coaching, and then I had a course. So I always had a bunch of different things going on, and I found that it allowed me to generate a good income. I've always generated at least 6 figures in my business. And then last year was my first 7-figure year, but I found that I was still struggling to get that consistent income. And so part of the reason why I was struggling to get that consistent income was because I didn't have a tried and true offer. And so what I mean by a tried and true offer is before you focus on, creating a bunch of different offers, you want to have one offer that is high quality, that can get results, and that is gonna ultimately grow your business. And so I remember around 2020, I said, okay, I'm tired of this, always coming up with new things. I really want to work on creating a consistent offer that is going to allow me to really stabilize my income and create that consistent sales. And so I created a coaching program and then later turned it into a course. So now it's self-paced, but that's something that I just really focused on building in my business. And so while I was doing a little one-on-one coaching here and there, and I kind of had other things going on for the whole year, I just made that my main focus. And so once that tried and true offer was built and then I was able to sell it on autopilot, then I moved on to future offers. And so I just got into this habit of every time I was creating a product, I would focus on perfecting that product, making it as good as I could, getting testimonials for it, all these things. In fact, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I just focused on perfecting it and making it my tried and true offer before I moved on to the next offer, where before I was creating a lot of different things in order to get the revenue. And so in this instance, I really shifted my mindset where instead of saying, oh, what's something that I can create and sell in order to create revenue? I said, no, this is the only thing I'm gonna sell. And I understand that the revenue will come as long as I focus on perfecting it. Okay, the second thing that you probably don't have, and this is why you aren't getting consistent sales, is because you actually don't have a consistent sales system, right? You don't have a way to kind of automatically sell it day in and day out. And when I say automatically, I don't necessarily mean that it's this 100% passive, hands-free thing. It might still require you to show up. It might be something just as simple as, a discovery call situation where you have a system where someone fills out an application, they get on a phone call with you, you invite them to join your program, and then they do or they don't. And then over time, you have a consistent flow of sales. That's a very basic sales system, but it's a sales system that works for a lot of people. But whatever sales system works for you, you need to have that. So it's not enough to have a tried and true offer, even though that's really important. But once you've come up with that tried and true offer, you need to have a automated or kind of like streamlined, maybe that's a better word for it, a streamlined way to sell it consistently. So as I mentioned previously, I had a coaching program that I then turned into a self-paced course. Once again, it was tried and true, and I really perfected it, and I knew that clients can get results, and I was really proud proud of what it was, then I focused on building a sales system that could sell it consistently. And so hopefully you're seeing that a lot of this is like building blocks, and you have to have the patience to focus on what needs to be focused on as you kind of go along this plan, right? So when you're focusing on the product, the program, the offer, focus on that, perfect it. But once it's perfected, really focus on creating that sales system, and don't pass go, don't collect $200 until that is complete. Really build out that sales system. And so I found that this kind of iterative, step-by-step process, it feels slower in the moment, but it's actually faster because you'll look back 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and all of these programs, now that they've been perfected, they kind of stack on top of each other. And that allows you to not only create consistent sales, but to create consistently growing sales, because now you have all these offers working for you in the background. Okay, I have more where that came from, but first I wanna hear from you. What's the program that you wanna sell consistently? Share in the comments below. All right, now the next reason why you probably don't have consistent sales yet is because you don't have consistent testimonials yet. So, initially when you're creating an offer, maybe you can tap into your warm market, people who have worked with you in the past, people who are somewhat in your network, and they'll kind of like try you out, give you a shot, and kind of be that guinea pig for your program. But if this is something that you want to sell consistently, you need to demonstrate that you can get people results, and that's where testimonials come in. So I don't know about you, but it doesn't matter if I'm buying, toothpaste on Amazon, I'm looking at the reviews, right? And so it's no different in your coaching business. People want to see that other people have worked with you and that they've been able to get results. They want to gauge it. Is this person just like me? What kind of situation were they in? Is this going to work for me? That's always the question in the back of everyone's mind. And so again, this is not to prevent you to say that you can't make a sale or even some sales, but if you want to get to the place where now the sales are coming consistently, understand that it's going to be very difficult to do if you don't have testimonials. So part of the reason why we focus so much on perfecting that offer is because if the offer has been perfected, at least to the best of our ability, then you'll find that it's a lot easier for your clients to get results. Because the first time you come out with a program, even if you give it, everything that you know, and you create the framework and you like put your all into it, understand that the first iteration still is going to need improvement, right? So, there are programs that I have that I've been improving incrementally over the course of an entire year, and each time it gets better and better. And so this is not to say that you won't be able to get your clients any results until it's 100% perfect, but you always want to stay in that process of continuous improvement, because maybe you get some clients some results, and then you see where others struggled, and then you improve it, and then you have a new round of clients that go through, and then they're getting better results, and you continue tweaking it, and you will have this kind of system where as people go through your program, not only are they going through your program, but they're getting the results and then giving you testimonials, and now you have almost a testimonial engine, which then becomes a sales engine, which goes back to the previous step that we talked about having a kind of dialed in sales process in order to sell your coaching program. So if you want consistent sales, having those consistent testimonials is really, really paramount. All right, the fourth reason why you might not be getting consistent sales yet is because your brand isn't powerful enough yet. And so I know that this is less technical. Everybody wants a specific thing, tell me what I need to do, but I cannot speak enough about having a brand that is very, very powerful and really dialed in. And so understand that consistent sales often comes from word of mouth, from people hearing about you, from people stumbling on your content. And it's not always a linear process, right? I have people who, maybe find a YouTube video of mine, and then they get on my email list, and then they're on my email list for months. Maybe they're following me on Instagram, they're listening to my podcast, they're kind of bouncing around in my world, and then they choose to make a decision. But I have other people who watch one video of mine and they're immediately signing up, to book a call with my team, and then they're immediately joining my coaching program. So it really depends on the person, but this is why you need your brand strong, because regardless of how long it takes that person in their own time, you need to have a strong brand that one is strong from a content standpoint. So you want to make sure there's a lot of content that they can get into. In fact, I have this whole program and concept that I talked about called Binge and Buy, which essentially, if you give people, really great content that they can binge on, eventually there's a good chance that they're ultimately going to buy something. And so I find that people do not have a strong brand from a content standpoint, but they also don't have a strong brand from a positioning, a leadership, and an authority standpoint. And you have to understand that there is a way to show up online. There is a way to structure your brand. There's a way to be professional, for things to look high quality, right? For things to operate in excellence. And so this is not to say if you're just getting started, everything needs to be perfect, but ask yourself, does your brand look like what you're selling, right? Does it look like it's matching what you're selling? Does it look like it's matching the price points that you're selling it for? If you are saying that you can do these high value offers and that you can give people these great ROIs, but you kind of show up willy-nilly, or your brand is just kind of like slapdash together, understand that there's some incongruency there and there's going to be a mishmash. So, having a powerful brand is really twofold. Yes, it's having a lot of content, having things that people can buy, but it's also the authority by which you show up, how you present yourself, how you package yourself, the packaging of the brand. Does it look like the prices you're trying to command, the programs that you're saying that you can help people with, the ROI that you said that you can get people with? Does your whole brand look like that? Does it feel like that? Does everyone's interaction with your online brand feel like it matches ultimately what you're selling? And so if there's any incongruency, you're gonna find that you're gonna have a lot of missed opportunities, people who are like, oh, this sounds great, and then they kind of like get in your world and they're like, oh no, I don't think that this person is gonna be able to help me based on the way their brand is and the way they're showing up, etc. And so you're gonna have gaps where a lot of people are falling through the cracks, and that is going to negatively impact your ability to get consistent sales. All right, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you enjoyed this, you're going to love my masterclass, the Consistent Client Masterclass, which walks you through in detail the system and the process that I currently use to this day in order to attract consistent clients in my business. I've been using this process again for years. This is something that I did before I had a major team, before I was doing the revenue numbers that I'm doing now. So understand that if you implement this can really work for you. So if you're interested in that, again, it's a free masterclass. You can click the link below in order to register right now. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want even more where this came from, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.